We're talking about Riley, which is an American coming-of-age drama written and directed by Benjamin Howard in his feature film debut. It stars Jake Holley, Colin McCalla, Riley Quinn Scott, Storrie and Rib Hillis. So Dakota Riley's life of being a high school jock becomes complicated once he discovers that he identifies as queer. Riley is played by Jake Holley, and the film is Howard's feature film debut based on his own experience as a student athlete. I've got to say, it's a pretty solid feature debut.
Yeah, like cinematography is great. I think it's a well-constructed film. Like it goes through like the story arcs and conclusions and makes a few interesting points. I was quite engrossed with it, even though, like, I was just mentioning cookie cutter coming out stories. This feels like a cookie cutter coming out story. I don't think they're breaking any new ground there, especially when it comes to jocks coming out. We've seen those movies.
Seen it before. Yeah, I thought that.
No, what I really liked about the movie was the lead actor, Jake Holley. Like, I thought it was a superb performance. I'm not sure if he's done much before this, but like I immediately followed him on Instagram just because I was like transfixed with his performance. The only thing that really bothered me about this film, I think I'm quite justified in saying this, but like kids don't look like that in high school. Like the guy, I know they're supposed to be playing jocks and everything, but they look like ripped, late 20-year-olds, and the actors are ripped 28-year-olds.
Yeah. So obviously they're meant to be playing people that are a lot younger that don't necessarily have that physique.
Exactly. 16, 17, 18 at the most. And we get that accuracy in things like Heartstopper and other gay films and TV shows are set in that genre. So like it wouldn't leave my mind. I'm like, that's not what high school kids look like. I mean, they may be ripped, but it's like they were going for the sexy factor. I think that's the biggest mistake of this movie, and what kind of took me out of it a little bit was that. Like, other than that, it was a very well-constructed story, and I enjoyed it. Didn't break new ground. It was all right.
It's funny, the points you just made were exactly the points that kind of downgraded my score a little bit, because I think it did demonstrate the awkwardness and the isolation of exploring your sexuality at that age. But it was those jarring elements of me not totally believing what they looked like as characters, which kind of brought me out a little bit. I felt a bit at conflict because I think the performances felt real, but I think it's the physical attributes that kind of took away that. I suppose there's also that need to hide because of your career, which I think was demonstrated well, but again, I felt that conflict.
Well, let's face it, even his best friend looked like he was straight off the cover of like Men's Health magazine. It was like they were going for the sexy factor, and although that might be believable, let's say in a college sports or professional sports atmosphere. High school, no. Like, everyone is a bit, you can be as handsome as you want to be, but everyone's still a little bit awkward, a little bit not fully developed, a little bit, not sure of themselves. So it was kind of like the Riverdale effect. Like, those kids are on Riverdale, don't look like high schoolers either.
It's interesting you said you warmed to the lead character, because I didn't really warm to him. I'm not saying he was bad at his role. I think the performance was good. I wonder if that's because he seemed so troubled, which again is a good thing, because that's the message they're trying to put across. The relationship he had with his girlfriend seemed insincere, so much it was painful to watch, and I guess that's the point, because you do feel a bit awkward watching that. I suppose it's a real friendship, but not a sexual relationship. Which
kind of like the last movie we were talking about, Unspoken. Like, I liked his sort of confidence up front when he's developed his own character. He's this jock. He's very popular. Kind of a pretty boy. And then, as he starts to learn about a few things and experiment and, make known his desires, it changes. I think that takes quite a bit of acting acumen to be able to go from like extremely confident to like, I'm just finding myself. So I think that's why I really liked his performance. And I was like, oh, he's maybe one to watch.
There was some interesting connections, particularly the grinder hookup. It's Obi-Wan, wasn't it? It was played by J.B. Waterman.
That was a good line.
Yeah, because at the beginning, that seemed quite vacuous, that connection. Obviously, it was very one-sided. It was just about sex. But as the story unfolds, he offers some advice, which I thought was really interesting and perceptive. It's kind of wanted that at the beginning, but obviously wasn't going to get that at the beginning because it was exploring that relationship as well. So, yeah, there was that. And there's also Dakota's classmate who's openly gay, Connor Storrie, who I thought was brilliant. There's that scene where they get close and intimate in the car. He's taking him home, isn't he? And he delivered that frustration, you know, as someone who wants to remain closeted, because obviously the lead role, that lead character, does want to be closeted because of his career, and he's kind of hiding that. So I suppose, you know, he was quite confident. Connor Storrie's character was quite confident and authentic. So I liked that. I liked that they explored that.
Again, at that age, is everyone like, maybe the new generation is, I don't know, maybe these Gen Zers have all the confidence in the world and know exactly who they are. God, I sound so old when I say that. But yeah, you can be like an activist and know all your gay history and, you know, but still you're in high school. You're probably not that confident about standing up for who you are and, like, you know, being able to not accept people not accepting themselves, you know? So I don't know. Like, again, I just think it was the ages that they really were and what they were portraying that just kind of threw me out of it again. Other than that, I did like the movie. Like
you said at the beginning, I did think we'd kind of seen this before. So it did meander a little bit for me. It had a mood about it, which, you know, I'm all about a mood in a film, but I don't know whether I enjoyed it necessarily. It was okay. It was an okay watch.
Yeah, but Phil, I guess what we have to remember is that, you know, maybe to the 21, 22, 23-year-olds out there who haven't seen films like this, it probably could be an important film for them.
Oh, completely, yeah. I'm not saying it's not important. I just don't know whether it was important to me personally.
Too. That's what I have to tell myself, too, because when I say, oh, we've seen it all, us old queens,
But no, you're right. A younger person might get a lot more than what we would.
Yeah.
So it's called Riley. It's on at BFI Flair 2024. We are covering the film festival, so make sure you subscribe because we've got a lot more coming. We're doing a lot this year. I mean, we're going to a few public screenings as well, but we have got a lot on Screener, so we're watching a lot at home as well, which is great because obviously the press do get that opportunity.
Yeah. You know, I was putting together my schedule and I'm like, how in the heck am I going to fit all these in next week? And so I'm glad that we've got some pre-coverage to do because that just makes the whole experience even more lovely. So.
Yeah, and I did get the chance to see two films over the weekend. One of those was the Elliot Page film, which is Close to You. But let's just say I had a really good morning because I also saw another film as well, Backspot.
Oh, that's on my...
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy that, Raj, actually. I thought it was okay, but I prefer Close to You.
Both of them are definitely on my list. I'm hoping to get to the In Conversation with Elliot Page.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Elliot Page in person was at South by Southwest, a documentary about gay life in different countries. I think it's called Gaycation or something like that. Yeah.
So make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Raj. See you on the next one.